Hi, my name is Lisa, and I wanted to talk a little bit about like wig customization. So when a wig comes, it's not always perfect as far as like what fits my needs. Sometimes it needs to be tweaked. So in the beginning, when I would get human hair wigs, probably the first year and a half, 2 years even, I was just expecting perfection. Like I was going to put them on and everything was going to be perfect. The part line was going to be perfect. The lace front, the color, everything was just perfect. And if it wasn't, I just immediately sold it. So you lose a lot of money this way. So what I ended up coming to terms with is that you kind of need to make them your own. So this wig, when it came, I'm going to pop some pictures up. Unfortunately, I forgot to take a picture of the entire thing. So I'm going to add just, what I have as far as what color it was and stuff. The other thing was it was just kind of solid all over, about a level 4. Yeah, about a level 4. So it was very dark and just kind of the same color overall. It really didn't have any dimension. So the first thing that we did was Grace highlighted basically the top half of the wig. I told her I wanted subtle, and I kept telling her very subtle, because I didn't want like big stripes. I now know that I need to just tell Grace, you know what, do what you think looks the best, because it did come out beautiful, but it was very subtle, and I actually did want a little bit more dimension. So basically, that entire top half was highlighted all the way throughout, and she just did beautiful highlights with it. Then those highlights were toned. It had kind of a goldish color still to it, and it toned beautifully. So then after that, and I'm going to insert another picture, it was beautiful, but I just wanted a little bit more dimension on the top, on the front, and then I wanted just a little bit more lightness to the ends. So basically hand painted it with low volume bleach. 20 volume was what I used. And I actually did this myself. I watched her do it before. Grace is an Aveda trained hairstylist, if anyone is wondering. And she's just kind of getting her feet wet still, playing with my wigs when I need something done to them. She's been cutting them forever, but now coloring and toning and it's a little bit different. So I think she's only been doing that for maybe a year, 6 months to a year. So anyway, so hand painted it with that bleach and just kind of brought up the front. At this point, Grace already had thinned it out. She had given it a beautiful layered cut. That was the other thing I did not like, was it was all one length, and it just looked like a big helmet. So she gave it just some beautiful layers, and it already had a little bit of layering in the back, but she just kind of straightened everything up for how it fit on my head. That's another thing to think about with wigs, is everyone's head is different, and most people are cutting them when they're on like a cork head, and where everything's going to fit may be a little bit different on everyone. So I do find a lot of times the cut does need just some slight trimming. The only thing I don't find this with usually is an eye wig, and I think that's because the eye wig cap is just so conformed to like the head shape that there's really not a lot of like stretching, like the front to the nape. On the lace tops, I find it can be very different, even an inch or two different on the same size wig. So, there's that. So she did just kind of trim it, but this is just washed. I deep conditioned it with an Aveda professional hair mask. Let's see. That was the Botanical Repair, the professional primer, and then the bond activator, and just let that sit on for like a good 20 minutes. I was a little apprehensive about, of course, bleaching like the ends of a wig that was so dark, but it actually came out really nice, and the hair still is very soft. It's still very movable. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. So let's go ahead and style it. So as far as like my shorter wigs, I find that I don't really need to clip them up like I do sometimes with my longer wigs. The density on this one it's probably down to about 120, maybe 130 now. It still definitely has some density to it, but I'm going to see how it looks styled and then decide if I want to get it thinned out a little more, by Grace. So, okay. And I did just give it just one curl here and one curl here, just because I wanted to see how the hair curls, and it just curled absolutely beautiful. And that was a few days ago. So let's get this the rest of the way curled. And my favorite curling iron is the Bio-Ionic, the 1.5 inch. I do use it on 320 degrees, sometimes 280, just kind of depending on the hair and how the hair is feeling, you know, if it's feeling dry or anything like that. The only other thing I put on the wig was just a teeny tiny bit of the Amani Natural 2-phase-in conditioner. So it's a spray, and it's not that it's like crazy conditioning, like it doesn't make it feel crazy soft when you spray it on, but it protects the color. So most people, you know, if you've had your hair toned before, especially if you've been a blonde, you know that it fades very quickly after a few washes. You know, you can definitely see the difference. So this actually helps the pH of the hair, and it helps the hair retain that color. So I do use this on all my wigs when it's wet and just give it a couple spritzes. And it's by Amani. They actually make human hair wigs, like European quality wigs. I haven't tried one yet. I still kind of want to order one just to see, you know, what it's like, but they are very expensive. So even, you know, wholesale, they're very expensive. So I'm just not sure if I'm going to try one yet or not. The other product I love from them is the Moroccan oil, and it's basically argan oil, but it smells like cotton candy. Here's what it looks like. This is my favorite. I think I've already gone through like 2 bottles in a year or so. So it's just my favorite. So once the hair is dry, I put just the tiniest amount, rub it really good between my hands. I even kind of grab, you know, a towel just to get a little of the excess off, and then I just run it through about here down, and then I just softly touch the top part, you know, on the top. So those are the products I use. Of course, everyone has their preferred products. So, and I also use Amani shampoos to wash my wigs, and conditioner, unless I'm deep conditioning. If I'm deep conditioning, then I'm going to use the Aveda, or my wig friend turned me onto this, and I really like it. It's Gold Series Treatment Mask, and she just swears by it. She uses it on her eye wigs and whatnot. So I did get a big tub of that, and I've been using it, and it seems to work well. So I like to give just a little curl while I'm pulling the hair down, and I find that that helps lower the density even a tiny bit more than like if you curl it, you know, way up and hold it. And then even if you kind of twist it out of the curl and then turn, that even makes it even lower density. So I'm kind of excited because later I'm going to make some vegan, what am I making? My memory sometimes is pretty bad. Vegan tuna salad. So it's like a tuna-less tuna salad with garbanzo beans, and that's one of my favorites. It's like a quick grab and go with some crackers, and I have 2 of my kids are vegetarian. I have 3 that live at home. Of course, Grace is the youngest, and she's 18, so they're all older. But okay, so I'm going to turn it this way now, and I'm going to start curling this side. I always tend to do about to here on one side, and then I'll kind of meet in the middle. That's just what works for me. And I used to be like the world's worst curler of hair. So Grace kind of helped me, basically taught me how to curl hair. And now this is just what works for me. This is just how I do it. I'm not sure if you can see in this light, but the dimension from the highlights that she did, and then just the ends being just lightened just very subtly, just a little. It is really pretty. I'm going to take it out in the sun after this, after I put it on, and just kind of show you, you know, what it looks like. So it's kind of my favorite new thing lately is to, if I do find a wig at a great price, and that is a brand where I know they have really good quality hair and the hair is not textile dyed. Textile dyed makes a huge difference. I do not recolor anything that's been textile dyed. I don't even try to do the knots because they're so unpredictable in how they color. I've had textile dyed ones with toner where they've turned like red in spots and purple in spots, and you know, with the same toner. It's just crazy. So personally, I try to steer clear of anything that's textile dyed, and that does tend to be a lot of times like a lot of the bigger brands. That's one of the reasons I love iWigs so much. iWigs color beautifully. They bleach beautifully, you know, as far as the knots, but they did change their warranty recently. And basically, if you color the wig, if you do any type of toner, color, and a lot of them I do like to customize, you know, there's something I want to change about the color when it comes, you know, like maybe the roots are too gold based, or you know, the ends are like too gold based, or want to add some dimension to them, some highlights, lowlights, you know, that type of thing. So I find that is a little harder now, because iWig is one of the only makers I know of that does offer, you know, they have an amazing warranty. You know, if the hair starts falling out and you've had it for months and you've treated it the correct, proper way, you know, you haven't put any conditioner on the top and, you know, nowhere near the lace, you've really taken care of it, it just had some type of defect, they do stand by their product, and a lot of places do not do that. So that is one of the huge benefits of iWig. And then after I curl, I usually like to let it sit for just a few minutes and just set, you know, 15-20 minutes. I'm actually not going to do that today because I want a little bit more of like a loose wave on this one, because it is a fairly short wig. So I'm just going to take my big comb and kind of comb it and see what happens. Yeah, the hair quality of this is very, very nice. Yeah, it's perfect. I like it. Okay. So next, I think it's time to try it on. Okay, so I actually do like the density. Like I said, it actually could be taken down a little bit, like on the sides, the density, but overall, you know, it's nice and flat. I like it. It's a tiny bit too big for me, the cap on the sides, so I may like take it in a little bit temporarily. Haven't really decided yet. But the thing I knew when this wig came, you know, the knots were dark. So that was the first thing I tackled, was bleach the knots. These knots on this bleached better than any wig I have ever bleached the knots. It was so fast. It was crazy. And they bleached really nice. So then I knew I had a beautiful hairline. So then I was very impressed with just the hairline with the bleach knots. So I knew, okay, I have to make this something that I will love. Nice. So let's go see what it looks like outside. Hang on, Cooper. You can come out, Cooper. I'm going out here for a minute. Yeah, so so just walking outside to kind of see how the color looks in various lighting, and very, very happy with how this turned out. It's very subtle, which was absolutely what I wanted. You know, I didn't want like big light streaks or anything, and it has a lot of dimension, even though it is subtle. It just turned out beautiful. It's very neutral. Very happy. So for some reason, I'm having to do this twice. I'm having to do this twice because I accidentally didn't record it. So let's try this again. I'm going to try to find some sun and show you what it looks like. Just enjoying the day. And here's my favorite new things that I'm growing. These are 10 passion fruit babies, and I'm growing 5 for my dad and 5 for me. And I'm going to show you what one plant looks like when it's grown, because it's just amazing. This is one of my favorite trees. It's getting pretty tall too. It's almost to the top of the pool enclosure, but look how pretty these are. I can't remember what it's called. It's just one of my favorites, and it blooms every spring. And I decided I'm not really going to say who the maker is of this wig, because because her wigs are absolutely incredible. It's just that this particular wig, I needed to kind of make it mine. So I don't want people to like think, you know, oh, that wig needed color or something, you know, because that's not the case. It's just, I took the wig and made it my own, and now I absolutely love it. I know I'm going to get use out of this wig. This might even be like a contender for a work wig just because it is so thin. I am a registered nurse, and I do travel for work, and anything, you know, shorter, less density, and a good hairline, and I'm happy. So, and here's just one passion fruit vine. There's a bunch of passion fruit on it right there, and it goes all the way down the fence line. Just insane. And Cooper wants to play ball. You ready, buddy? Okay, everyone, time to throw the ball to the dog. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day, and good luck with your wigs. Let me know how they turn out if you end up doing anything to them.